Welcome in, everybody, to our updated rogue farming guide for patch 0.13. And the rogue's AI has changed. I'm sure we've noticed them all being more aggressive, less predictable, but fear not, they are just as farmable. And today I'm going to show you two methods in order to farm them. This first method is my favorite one and the one I'm doing the most because it is quick, easy, and repeatable. The second method is an update from one of our previous videos and is better if you don't feel as comfortable taking on ground rogues. Now, these are both being done in live raids, so we're going to hurry through them, but let's farm some rogues. Additionally, this is the kit that I am wearing. This is all going to come back in insurance and a nice combination of sniping and close range protection. Now, as we approach Warehouse 3, we need to be very careful as ground rogues can spawn. They can spawn at the mouth of the warehouse. They can spawn at the side and over to the edge. If that top door is open, they are more likely than not they have spawned. Additionally, they can be on the scaffolding as well as on the far side of the warehouse. Now, you're going to want to listen for voice lines, not ones from the roof, as well as any of their footprints and running. And if you do hear them, best bet is to try to go through a doorway like this. Try to get them to bait them to come over here and give them a couple quick headshots as they run through the door. But getting them to run at you is the best way I've found to deal with them. But we're trying to get on top of Warehouse 2 right now. And in order to do that, excuse me while I loot, we're going to go over to this cardboard L right here because we need to take out one gunner. And he is right there. From here, we just need to semi-crouch. He's not going to hit us. But we can hit him. We've taken him out. And this is going to open up the path to Warehouse 2 for us. Now, while we're running over here, still be careful as there can be ground rogues. There also can be AI scavs. I'm sure people have noticed. AIs... Whoa. What? Excuse me, like I said, live raid. Like I said, always be careful. This is not a spot I've ever seen someone in before, but always just be careful. Especially, though, coming out here, we're looking for really, more so than PMCs, we're looking for scavs, we're looking for ground rogues, as they can be roaming around here, and want to be extra careful, I say, as I sprint over here. But going up this ladder, what we're going to want to listen for is we want to listen for voice lines and footsteps and running, indicating that any of the other rogues would be off of their gun. If they are, you can, hang out, wait for them to go back, or there is a ton of cover up here, so you are able to actually fight them. I like to just run right here, block from any vision over to the side. But there can be two rogues spawning on this side, so again, just listen, play it by ear, but right now, as you see, we're up here, and we are getting some nicer gear. We'll take the Thunderbolt, which is what is another nice thing about running in with pretty much terrible gear, is that we're able to pretty quickly upgrade. I'm going to keep the shotgun for now, just because I prefer it against the rogues, to be honest. But we will come back for that if we need to. And that sun is incredibly bright, but we know that there should be about two rogues over here. Now, the key is when we kill this one, the one over here sometimes will push off of his gun and aggro. Yep, he's done it. So we're going to just push back. Additionally, AI scavs can come up here. We can hear someone walking around. That might be from downstairs. But like I said, the AI scavs will walk up here. So again, just keep your head on a swivel while we're out here, waiting to see exactly where this other rogue has gone. Sounds like he pushed off the gun, but let's push up and see where he's at. Yep, it looks like he is right there. See, you can see his feet. And look, we can see his feet. Again, if you have a better gun, you can take it. But look at him And my shotgun doesn't want to go all the way through. Right now, it sounds like there's a scav behind us. Take him out.
Our guy's down.
And then bang. See, again, just try to peek the angles, peek the corners. And now we can actually start to get rid of some of our other gear. A nice meta RD. Nice backpack. We can hear the shooting from over there. We're not too concerned about that. You can snipe that gunner off of his gun over there if you so choose. But let's go check out our other rogue here. See what he's got. Nice MK, more stuff. And here we have it. We have taken out all of the rogues on top of here. You saw that there can be some hiccups. We saw PMC, we saw scavs, we saw them come off the guns. A little more unpredictable, but as you can see, this is something we can consistently and repeatably do. From here, we're going to just want to get out. For me, personally, looking at our extracts, Northern Checkpoint's my favorite to get to, but that's where you might want to take out the gunner on top of Warehouse 1 in order to get over to him. But we're going to get out of here. Stay tuned for part 2. All right, here we are approaching Warehouse 3, and since the aggro range for the rogues has significantly increased this wipe, in order to do Method 2 from the video above, we need to take out the grenade gunner on top of Warehouse 2. And by approaching Warehouse 3, we get a perfect shot on him where he can't hit us. Now, this is about 200 meters away, so I like to get down, scope up to 200, and you take him out. After you take out that gunner, what you can also do is take out the gunner on top of Warehouse 1 as well, rather than try to shoot him by the barrels. Again, I like to lay down here just because it makes it a little bit easier with the recoil, but you can kneel, and we missed, which is fine because you get a second chance. Now that we've taken out the gunners on top of Warehouse 2 as well as Warehouse 1, we can run back around to those front gunners and loot them. And if those gunners have been taken out because we were busy taking out these other rogues, well, there's still some rogues you can loot, so stick with us. All right, so as we come over towards these front gunners, as you can see, this is a live raid, and our friend is not on his gun, and that is not a problem. Because we've taken out the gunner on top of Warehouse 1 and Warehouse 2, we are actually very free to walk into the rogue compound, make sure the gunners on these towers aren't still alive, and we can actually go on top of Warehouse 1 in order to get some loot. Thought I heard some... Did I hear a voice line? Yep. So just because the towers look empty at first, doesn't mean they are. We've seen our guy running around over here. Was that the rogue? Honestly, he's not relevant. Because we've taken out, like I said, because we've taken out these gunners, we are free to run towards Warehouse 1. Now, I like to stay on the inside of the wall here because ground rogues can spawn around Warehouse 1. But typically, if you stay on the outside and you go towards the stairs, you're going to be safe. And just as you're coming around here, always make sure you're listening out for their voice lines. That's how you can hear the rogues down below, as well as if they've been moving around up top. Here we can hear some footsteps. Maybe it's a scav that's off the gun, or maybe it's a regular scav, or one of the rogues off the gun. But always just be a little bit careful, as we don't want to get taken unawares. Yeah, I think there's a regular scav up here. So coming up top here, always check for the gunner on top of there. He's not there. And then I think we heard a regular scav up here. Oh, no. What? See, sometimes they are off the guns, but took them out. And now we got some very nice loot. Well, not very nice. We got loot. How is this man still alive? Now we get over to our rogue that we sniped from further away, and as we can see, he's got a nice AKM for us. Beautiful, and a nice better backpack, as well as an MMAC rig, and this is why we do it, folks. And now we're off to loot some more rogues. From here, honestly, if you've gotten loot from the gunners, as well as the loot from the top of Warehouse 1, at this point, honestly, you could just leave if you wanted to. If you haven't gotten as lucky with some of the loot, feel free to move over to Warehouse 2. With that grenade gunner gone, that is pretty open, and it's going to be pretty easy for take the loot. And we're going to actually go over there now, because I'm not satisfied with what we have yet. So let's go. One thing to note as we're heading over to Warehouse 2 is the little gap here. Ground rogues can spawn on the outside of this warehouse, so just be aware. And of course, as you're moving over to Warehouse 2, make sure you've taken out this gunner on top here, as he will take you out. But I do like to stay on the inside of this wall here. Again, we're trying to avoid as many ground rogues as possible, and just take out the easy picking ones on top of the roof. And once again, as with all these roofs, we can hear some walking up there. Scavs, as well as rogues, have been more aggressive on getting off of their guns, getting out, and taking you out. Particularly scavs walking up top as well, so always just be careful and be aware and listen. We can hear the footsteps up top, which should make them pretty easy to take out. Those green tarps you can shoot through. And once we've taken him out, of course, we want to look at where the gunners are and make sure that someone else hasn't taken them out but hasn't gotten around to looting them. Always good to check. Just like this. Perfect. Look at that. This is why you always check. Even though we didn't take them out, we still reap the rewards. From there, obviously, we're going to check the other gunners. Particularly if we've sniped the one off of the grenade launcher, we're going to make sure that we're going to get his loot. Again, we hear some more scavs, which have become increasingly prevalent on top of these roofs. Just regular AI scavs. And that might have actually been a rogue. So again, sometimes the rogues pop off the gun, but again, we can take them out pretty quickly, pretty easily. And then look at all of this beautiful loot that we get. And perfect. And while we're up here, let's just check out all of the other spots. We can see someone's got in here ahead of us. That was probably that player scav we just took out, as well as that gunner. And so now at this point, we have an AVS, MMAC, 4 guns. We are ready to get out. As you've seen, this was a live raid, so I am very excited to get all of this loot and to show everyone that this can be done. Just need to change a couple of angles you're sniping from. Be patient, and you're going to get this really, really nice rogue loot.